This video is going to teach you how to enter initials for engraving onto a flask. The first thing is on the product page. This is where you enter your engraving. So where it says personalize this product with free engraving, select, let's do this, select yes, and it'll pop up the boxes for you to enter their engraving. So let's say we want to do a monogram engraving for the initials. So the first thing to remember is for a monogram font, you have to enter your initials in the first, last, and middle order. And just to clarify that, you'll see that same thing located, just scroll down a little bit. You'll see that same thing shown on any of the monogram fonts, the first, last, and middle order. So let's say we're going to do the interlocking monogram. Usually the first thing you do before you select the font is enter their engraving. So let's do the initials John F. Kennedy. So we'll do the first name John, last name Kennedy, and the middle name for F. And you usually just select your font and then preview engraving. Okay, and that's how you enter a monogram font. But if any other fonts, if you want to do initials but you don't want it to be a monogram font, you have to have it in a different order. So let me just select a different font to show you an example. Like the Clarendon font, John F. Kennedy. This looks strange because you don't have the K larger like how you have in the monogram font. So the thing you need to do is if you're selecting any other font that's not monogram and you decide you want to engrave initials, you have to have it in the JFK order. So you want to have it in the first name initial, middle name initial, and last name initial order. So any other font besides monogram, you have it in this order. But if it is a monogram font, you go with what's stated, the first, last, and middle order. And since this, let's actually change this back to monogram. Missing. Okay. JKF. Kennedy. Okay, actually you'll say we like the Roman monogram better, and since this item actually has a second line engraving, we can add another line engraving. For example, if this was a gift for Christmas, we can add a date to it. We can even add it in a different fonts if we like. So let's say we have this monogram font entered at the top, then we have for our second line this date. And one thing is when somebody's engraving a monogram font, it usually depends on the engraver how big the engraving is going to look like, but usually they best fit it for the size of the flask. So once you're done entering your engraving, all you have to do is add the item to the cart and proceed to checkout.